this is Jody King-Colegrove with Quantum Techniques. I want to share with you today how Quantum Techniques deals in testing with foods. A lot of times you've heard people say that we have food allergies, food toxins, and I wanted to let you know how we test on all the different levels. We test on 6 different levels to find out how food is impacting your body and your health and your happiness. So the first level we test on is whether a food reverses your energy. So when that happens, you don't have enough energy to basically fight viruses and bacteria that are also impacting your body. We test to see whether the body causes inflammation in your body or adds or affects your immune system. So inflammation is the start of the disease, so that's important not to have in your body, that inflammation. The second thing we test for is whether it increases a fungal infection in the body. The next one we test for is whether it causes a histamine reaction in the body. So you have, like, sometimes people get hives or they can't breathe because of certain foods. The other thing we test is finding out whether you have a weak organ in your body and whether the foods you're eating are impacting that and making it weaker. The last thing that we test on is whether you actually have the enzymes in your body and your gut to digest food. A lot of times we have an overload of pathogens like virus and bacteria or fungal that are preventing the food from actually being digested in a healthy way in your body. So that's one of the things that we identify. I was watching a PBS special lately from J.J. Virgin that talked about how when we eat foods, a lot of times we have very small reactions on our body to our antibodies like IgG, IgM, IgE. And what happens is that we don't notice right away when we eat something that it impacts us, but we'll notice, let's say, in a couple of days. And that way it's hard for most people to say, okay, I have a headache here, this impacted me here. So I'm going to confess, on Thursday I had a Mountain Dew, and by Saturday morning I had a headache. And so I was able to do the muscle testing to find out, sure enough, that made my body weak, and so it gave me more toxicity and gave me a headache on Saturday. Things that typically that we find is that if a child eats dairy, then about 4 days later they start getting really fussy and complaining, and their neurotransmitters may be reversed in their gut. So that's an example of how food can impact you. So we want to, at Quantum Techniques, for you to be able to muscle test to find out what foods are the best for you to get back to your health and happiness. So visit quantumtechniques.com, or you can email me at jody@quantumtechniques.com, and that way you can work on getting your health and happiness back.